I'm Caroline.
And I'm Phil.
Oh, that was a bit scary then. I didn't know what was going on.
No, it took 3 attempts to get the microphone to switch on. There's a little light on the microphone button, and if it's permanently on, that means we're hopefully got sound. And when it's flashing, it means we're not connected. And Caroline pressed it. 4 seconds on the countdown, pressed it, and it stayed solid. We got sound, but then Caroline was so flustered we didn't have picture.
But we have, hopefully we got sound and
yes,
volume. That would be a real treat.
And we've got Caroline.
Yes,
there we go.
Yes, my back's better now. So
a big hello to you all, especially to Peggy Reid, who said a big hello to me and you in the chat there. So we say a big hello back
Peggy, then.
And to everyone there. But it is great to have Caroline back with me, because I was determined the show would go on last week.
You're a hero.
But I have to try and concentrate and focus.
It is a lot to fill.
That I can't follow the chat. That's the thing. The live show is virtually based on the chat. We bring some finds. We have a quiz. But it's the chat that really makes it come alive. But you were great at chatting to each other last week, but I wasn't able to quite join in with the themes, although some of them were familiar.
Food.
Weather. Food, weather.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And food. And I've noticed a few weather, food, and what we've got tonight, I've noticed, is some travelling talk. Yes, Mike is enjoying the beautiful autumn leaves, and I'm almost sure it went past a bit quick, but I'm not sure if it said and Winberries or wineries, but I think it was wineries. So if you're on the Winberries, good on you. If you're at the wineries, good on you too. But and Crafty Caravanners are saying that they virtually finished their build.
Yeah.
They've been doing a big conversion on the van. It's just great news. So it's another project coming to an end. So anybody else got any projects in hand, shout them out and let us know. But yeah, it is
before
good.
we go any further, I want to do the first 3 in, because otherwise I need to turn it onto a different chat system.
Well, I can tell you the first 3 in last week, because I still got them written down on the piece of paper that I used because I couldn't go up and down the chat.
Right, well, I got it here.
So there we are, last week.
First one in today was Laura Sully's Creations. Well done, Laura. And followed by Kay Sully, who said, hey, other Sully. And in third place was Lexi B from Lexi's Locks and Crafts. Well done. Just pipped to the post was P. Mitch. So welcome to you. Congratulations. And welcome to everybody. And congratulations to everybody for getting here on a Saturday night.
And now we've got a new topic.
Oh, have we?
Fashion.
All right, but I'm
and
not going down there yet.
Your choice of scarf tonight.
All right.
Is getting noticed. Sharon Paget, Caroline, the scarf is lovely.
Oh, thank you very much.
And there was also a comment, I believe, from someone else, Bonnie Tyler fan. I love your scarf. And I think the first one in was there was somebody else as well further up, and I've lost it now. There we go. But lots of scarf talking.
Well, this one, if I show you, can't see the bottom. It's got little dangly tassels on it. Oh, look at that, in various colours. Paid a fortune for this. It's a very posh scarf. No, I got this from I'm pretty sure this was from the 5 things for £1. I don't like paying a lot of money for scarves. I'm really mean. So I like to go on sometimes. There's a shop I go to and they do 3 for £1. And I don't mind paying that, but I'm not one for paying £5-6 for a scarf. I'm really thrifty. They call me thrifty.
Yeah, another shout out for the Bernardo's charity shop in Newport, who, fair play to them, they shift everything through. If it's been on sale for more than 2 or 3 weeks, it goes on to a pound rail. If it's on a pound rail for about a week or so, it goes into a 50p box. And if it don't sell from the 50p box, it goes in 50p an item or 5 for £1. And I've seen me coming out of there carrying 20 items when Karen's been shopping there, buying for the whole family, and buying for the grandchildren and the kids, and they all love it. But you can't go wrong. At 20p for something to wear, I've got shirts, I've got all sorts, haven't I?
Oh, you have.
I tell you what, I bought a cracking coat the other day. Shall I get my coat? Shall I show everybody my coat?
Go on then.
Do you want to see my coat? Do you want to see my coat?
In the conservatory.
I'm going to have to... This could be interesting, folks, because we're having a tidy up in the office. And
they say you can't make omelettes without breaking eggs. We've got some broken eggs at the moment.
So I've tidied everything. So this side of the office is clear.
That side isn't.
That side's not. So this could be interesting. I'm going to try and climb out this way and see if I can get my coat.
Go on then.
I will be back.
We'll all listen for the crash.
Right. You entertain everybody
okay,
in my
then.
absence.
Would like a song, a dance? I know, instead I'll show you a find.
Why not? Why not?
And I'll show you... Oh, that was almost a fall. This. I love this. It's really tactile. It's so smooth. This ceramic. And originally, I think there'd been a finially thing on the end there. And then it was joined onto the chain. You could pull the toilet chain. It could have been a light pull. Could have been a toilet. I think this was more likely to be a light pull. Because here I have what I would think is more likely to be a toilet pull. And if I show you the difference in size, and I can't show you the difference in weight, but this one is about twice the weight of this one. And this one says pull.
Yeah, we referenced that on the video. I was saying sometimes you see them with pull on them. And then I realised 2 weeks ago that one was in a video, but we didn't have a live show.
I forgot to tell you that bit.
Yeah, we were away.
So Phil dug this out.
I've dug out a few things tonight, folks, because I know you missed out. There's a few things we mentioned in that video 2 weeks ago that'll show up, but I thought they were nice for their pay.
For any of you youngsters who don't know what on earth I'm talking about with the toilet pull, you used to have the toilet, you had the little bit you sit on, and there was a pipe going up the back of the wall to about this high, and there was a big square tank full of water. And when you needed to flush your toilet, you would have one of these hanging, which was attached to a chain, which was attached to the little container with the water in. You'd pull this, and all the water would come down the pipe and flush the toilet. And that's why even now, we don't pull the chain, we push the handle, but we still say pull the chain.
Don't forget to pull the chain.
Yeah, so...
Don't forget to pull the chain.
Did any of you not know that? Are any of you young enough not to know about a toilet pull? I don't know. I can't remember when they really stopped becoming, something that people understood. I don't know. I don't think I know our grandchildren wouldn't have a clue what a toilet pull was.
There we go. Have you the pull?
Oh, thank you.
And
no to spoil the girl.
Here is my coat. And there we are, folks. This cost a fortune. Cost the price of 5 scarves.
I know.
Because it cost me, as you can see on there, £1. £1. And this one was from 10 of us. And if I show you, see the buttons on that? Hang on, there's a hair on there. Can you see the buttons on that?
There's not a person inside it.
And the cut there. And look at the lovely pockets.
Come on, show them the important bit.
See, and it's got 4 buttons on the arms. And look, it goes down and down and down. It's a morning coat. So I just thought, I know that, look at that. Etiquette. How posh is that, eh? For £1. So, and it fits. There we go. So I'm going to wear this, I thought. It's 3/4 length morning coat. Normally worn by undertakers, I believe, because I see a fair few of these in my business. And I'm going to wear this with a t-shirt and jeans. Because I think that'd be a good look for a guy in his 60s.
Oh, you could be the mudlarking. What could we call Phil if you wore that mudlarking? You know, like you have the, I don't know.
Well, if I got a top hat to go with it.
You got the happy travellers who travel and things like that. What could we call Phil as a mudlarker if he dresses in a very posh morning coat?
Yeah, got lots of pockets to keep your finds in.
The morning mudlarker.
See? So there we go, folks. That's me coat. It cost £1. It's not as colourful as the scarf.
No,
but you're not going to get one of these for
you as much as that.
No, you wouldn't get one of these for £1 every day of the week. And I think with a t-shirt and a pair of jeans and some trainers, it'll look really smart. Probably get some funny looks in Morrison's, mind. Right, I'll take this off and I will join you. And if you want, I'll be a good boy and I'll do the first question before 1:15.
Okay then. Let's have a look. I'm going to see if I can find any answers. Linda said my nana had one of those. The toilet wasn't in the house. No, our first one was down the garden. And Sue said we only had the chain to pull. We didn't have a chain, a pulley handle. What we had was like an oval of metal that was fixed onto the last of the chains. You put your finger through and pulled it. So we weren't as posh as having a ceramic one. But we did have a thing on the end.
I believe it was at Uncle Steve's we first saw the ones with pull on them, didn't they? They were actually still installed in the house. And we just thought that was quite novel. We thought, well, what else would you do with it? You know, you swing it or push it or what? So right, there we go. There we go.
Tina said, I remember you trying it on. Yes, you were there.
That's right.
Phil did go back for the white jacket, but it had gone.
Yes. Went back to get the white jacket with all the blue flowers all over. They'd sold it. See, that's what comes of you. If you see something and you think, what? Let's go for it. Go for it.
Oh,
You come back and it's gone.
there we are. Crafty Campervan has said the distinguished mudlarker. Oh yes,
yes.
very posh.
Yes.
Right
Yes.
then.
We will be to the mudlarking what Downton Abbey was to soap operas. Sophistication.
Our unique selling point. Our
I gotta be
USP.
honest, it'd be the first darn time anyone accused us of bringing sophistication to something, wouldn't it?
Probably.
Probably. I don't think we're normally.
No, we're not. We, of all the things we've been called, we've never been called sophisticated.
No, we've not. Not to our knowledge, unless people are talking behind our backs. You lot talking behind our backs and telling everybody how sophisticated. Shall I do a question?
Yes.
Shall I do a jingle and a question? You can check the chat while I'm doing the question then.
Before you do, Anne Goodwin said, my first experience with a toilet bowl was at the Sherlock Holmes pub in London.
Oh,
We never got there.
no.
We're planning to go and we never got there. But there you
No.
go, so you saw one at the Sherlock Holmes pub.
But we are planning to go back to London next year, so when we do,
We shall check that out.
we will check it out, because that's one of the places I think we will put on our list this time.
Yes.
Instead of the Shard, you'll do the Sherlock Holmes pub. I got a
Yes.
feeling that we'll get more change from my money for the tea in the Sherlock Holmes pub than we did in the Shard.
Right
Okie
then, there you
dokie.
go.
We found a bottle while we were there. Do you remember? It was quite impressive, actually. Somebody is living in the woods, and they've laid it all out very nicely. So we steered away from that area, not to disturb them or for them to think that we were coming after any of their belongings, because we didn't know what was there. I could see some cooking pans, I could see a fire was set, and they had it all laid out, and it was all bushcraft. There was nothing plastic or anything. It was all bushcraft stuff they'd done. But Caroline found 2 or 3 bottles just behind that area. And when she turned the one up, which was quite a smart little looking bottle, the larger of the 3, on the bottom she read the word Nelson. Now, that's probably because it was made in Nelson in Lancashire. Now, there are several Nelsons, as in places to live around Britain. There's one just 3 or 4 miles from where we live. There's Nelson here in the Caerphilly County Borough. And strangely enough, they both seem to have been Nelson for the same reason. They were named after the pubs that were already there when the village grew up around them. So you've got the Nelson Inn in both Lancashire and Wales, and the village that grew up around it took the name of the pub and became Nelson. But as well as pubs and towns, Nelson is a term that is used in which of these sports? In which of these sports would they use the term Nelson? Is it A, wrestling, B, darts, or C, cricket?
Go!
Go, go, go! Go, go, go!
I haven't seen the questions, but I know what I'm going for. Put my glasses on. I can't see a thing.
Surprise, 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 surprise.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, you didn't see that coming, did you?
Nope.
Ooh,
Here we go. I'll be interested to see what everybody else thinks about this one.
Well, so far we've got every answer bar one.
And is that the right one?
Every answer bar one so
Is
far.
everybody missing out on the important one or not? Is it because everybody knows it's definitely not that one?
Right then, folks, we have got a lot of answers in, and the vast majority, except P. Mitch, didn't go for B as far as I can see. The first answer in actually came from Lexi B. Oh, Ed Creative said, my mum was from Nelson.
Ah, right.
There we
Small
go.
world.
There we go. Right. So, Lexi B, first answer in, actually wrote the word wrestling. Phyllis Williams, second answer in, wrote wrestling. And the third answer in was from Mike Sage, who said C, which is cricket. Now, I'll be honest, the vast majority agree with Phyllis and Lexi. The significant amount agree with Mike.
And Jason's in now as well with a B.
And
And Faraway Portal's in with a B.
but I can also tell you that P. Mitch was right as well, because all three answers are correct.
I would never have known that.
In wrestling, there is a move called the half Nelson, which is where you grab
What are you going to do to
somebody
me, right?
under their arms and then you put your hands behind their neck
Gently.
and you do that move. If you do it under one arm, it's a
Yeah.
half Nelson.
Oh, so what do you do then? So I give you a half. Come here, let me give you a half Nelson then.
Hang on, I lost my papers.
Get off the floor. You haven't, I
Yeah.
haven't beaten you up yet.
Go for half Nelson,
Right,
so
so
you
what
gotta
I
go
do that. Nah,
you gotta go
it's a bit uneventful.
under there and around the neck, see?
Under there and around the neck.
Yeah,
Like
because you haven't got a long enough arm. You got to go around the back of the neck. Back of the neck. You're cheated. That's not an half Nelson.
That's what we call the snake.
That's a Caroline special. That's right, like Iron round it.
Like
So,
So what did that? What
there
did,
you go.
what did
That's an half Nelson because you haven't got two rounds. So, behave. I haven't finished my answer yet. This is very complex because
She was still.
there's an half Nelson and a Nelson. They are moves in wrestling, but there's a score in cricket which is called a Nelson, which is 111. But they also use the term Nelson for 111 if you score that in darts.
Ah.
The reason they use the term Nelson, they say, for a 1, a 1 and a 1 is because Nelson lost an eye, an arm and a leg. There's only one problem with that. If you check out all the portraits, he never lost a leg. But it sounded good, so they still use it today. So there we go,
You
folks.
could have said that if he didn't lose a leg, he still had 3 limbs.
No, he had 2
So,
legs, 1 arm and then...
Yes, so that's 3.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Instead of 3 injuries, he had 3 limbs.
But they actually, it was said,
They said it was that.
it's a Nelson because he lost an eye, an arm and a leg. But he never lost a leg. But why would you let somebody having 2 legs spoil a good
That's
story?
right. Shouldn't let it
So
get in
they've
the way of
stuck
things.
with it. So whether you said wrestling, whether you said cricket, or if you said darts, you're all right. So the first 3
Well done,
answers are right.
everybody.
And that means Lexi B gets gold,
Well done,
Phyllis
Lexi.
Williams gets silver, and
Well done,
Mike
Phyllis.
Sage, even though your answer is completely different to theirs,
Doesn't
you're
matter.
still right.
Well
And you
done,
get
Mike.
the bronze. So, an award to everyone because there was a guarantee tonight. If you're playing the game just to keep your own scores, then you've got 1 on the board already. There we go.
There you go. So, and Peggy says my answer comes in on my phone between Phyllis and Mike. I know the internet is like that. Phil gets different answers to me on my computer. Mine's there, Phil's is there. It's that bad. Right then. So let's have one of your finds then, because I've shown a find, and it's about time you did. We
Was-
demand a find.
Who was that? Peggy?
Peggy.
Peggy Reid. Yeah, Peggy is about 15 down on our
Right.
list. I'm sorry about that, Peggy. It's the
It's the mysteries of the
mysteries
internet.
of the internet. It is indeed. Right, I will show a find. And seeing as Caroline showed 2 finds, I'll show 2 finds. And one of these has just had an instant magical repair because this one split in half when I washed it. It had a crack all the way around that wasn't even visible, but as soon as I put warm water in, it broke. But Caroline mentioned this bottle when she picked it up on the trip we showed 2 weeks ago because I'm sure it says Orlix. But it looks a rather strange size for Orlix. But then I remembered we have seen these before. And when I was cleaning this one up, it says Horlicks malted milk. Lunch tablets. That's what it says, lunch tablets. You can see it better. I glued this one back together. You can see it better on there. You see on there? It says Horlicks.
Tablet seems a strange thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, so you eat them for your lunch.
They said that was going to happen in the space age, didn't they?
Yeah, you
Remember
know.
in the 70s, said, oh, before long we won't need meals, we'll just take tablets for food and we'll be done.
There
It'd be
it
a bit
is.
boring, wouldn't it?
So 2 Horlicks bottles rather than jars, because instead of the powder, which we all know traditionally for making a nice warm malted milk drink, these were tablets. And it says for lunch. Now, whether you took them at lunch or whether the idea was you took them to work and you could drop them into some warm milk and stir them up in for your lunch. I don't know.
Seems a bit odd. You put me to sleep.
But there they are, 2 of them. And this is another thing that's interesting, is how often we see something and say, well, we don't see that very often. But in that particular dump, we find a couple of the same thing because they turn up. So there we go. That's those 2.
Right, I'll show you one more find, and then we'll have another question.
Oh,
look at the size on this.
Yeah, it's a
I
chunky
love
one.
that. It's a big bottle stopper. That is it's more of a jar stopper, isn't it? But look at that. There's something I think that should have had a little bit of something sticking out on there. It does feel more snapped than like as if they chopped it off from when they made it. No, I don't think they ever would have anyway, but they wouldn't blow something like that. Unless you blew it into a mould, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Anyway, that looks like it snapped off.
Yeah, maybe there was a knobble on the bottom.
Yeah, or even a long porky thing.
For what purpose?
Right, for porky things.
Yeah, no. They wouldn't have a lid with a long thing on it, but it could have had a blob on the bottom.
It could have. Why, what was the purpose of the blob?
Just to finish
Blob
it
things.
off. Just to finish it off, make it smooth. I think it's just that's how they made it, and they snapped the piece off.
Could be.
Put the molten stuff into the thing, because that's quite an old one, isn't it?
It is. It's old, and it's just it's so chunky. It feels nice. You could use it as a paperweight.
Yeah, kind of see bubbles in that. Yeah, it is quite an old one.
Very apothecary.
You can see bubbles in the glass, so that's got a bit of age. Well, everything we find's got a bit of age. It's been in the dump for at least 50
You know what
years.
it is, don't you? It's a Victorian frisbee.
No, I don't think so. Do not throw that.
Right,
No, I wouldn't do that.
No, it's a bit heavy.
Right, if we're going to have another question, then I will do a find linked to the question.
Well, go on then.
Because here we have something we see quite often, and that is an ink pot. We cannot deny that we see quite a number of ink pots.
We do.
You left one behind on this occasion because it had a little bit of a thing going on inside, wasn't it, with all the moss and things.
Ecosystem, yeah.
Yes, so we left it there. This one's a bit interesting because it's got some words on the bottom about a company in London, and it actually, I don't know if you can see there, but there's the insignia of a swan on the bottom of that there. There you go. See the swan on there? There's the swan. There's the swan. So I have an ink-related question. Have we had the question jingle?
No, I don't think we have.
Well, we'll have it again just in case. And I can assure you, these can't all be right this time. No. It's not that kind of question. All right.
You could do that one week, couldn't you? Everything would be right.
Aye.
We'd all suss it by the end.
The creation of the ballpoint pen is usually credited to a Hungarian-Argentinian inventor by the name of Laszlo Biro. And in fact, he has been so associated with the creation of the biro that they call it a biro after Laszlo Biro. And that was because he patented his creation in 1938. They went on sale around the world, but the first example to go on sale in the USA was on the 29th of October 1945 at New York City branch of Gimbel's department store. When it would have cost you the equivalent of £180, I think, in today's money to buy a biro. But there was a patent registered by a lawyer and part-time inventor 50 years before Laszlo Biro.
Oh.
In 1888. And I want to know in which country was that patent placed. Was it in A, America, B, Germany, or C, Switzerland?
Go! Right, I know what I'm going for.
Where do you think the part-time inventor who earned his living as a lawyer was living in 1888 when he registered a patent for And I've read the patent, and it says for an ink pen that functions by the use of a ball bearing held at the end in a socket.
I wonder how big that first one was. I bet they weren't quite as small as they are now.
Oh, possibly not.
Well,
But
may have been, but-
no, it's a very good point. It's a very good point, in fact, because this chap, he wasn't trying to come up with another pen to write on his notebook.
Right.
He wanted a pen that would be useful for writing on other surfaces as well, because he found that he couldn't use his fountain pen to write on leather or to write on wood. So he wanted something that would do that. So he actually did invent this pen, and it worked for writing on rough surfaces. But when you tried to write on paper, it wasn't very effective.
Right.
And it's for that reason that no one saw the commercial value of his thought, and the patent then lapsed. So when Laszlo Biro, 50 years later, applied
stole it,
his
did he?
thinking to the same idea, but then brought it down to something that would write on a piece of paper without blotching and without having to refill and without ink that dries up and spills, he hit the big time. But if the people had only seen the potential 50 years earlier, and of course, the other big thing for Laszlo Biro was the development of plastics. To be able to make, economically make pens, and to be able to form
Yeah, if
them.
it's right in the Stone Age, you would never have worked. Can you imagine how long it would have taken to have chipped away the shape of a biro?
Yeah,
It'd take
definitely.
forever, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
And then the little bowl for the end.
and then all they do with it is draw on the wall.
Yep, and then they'd have to make one of those
Because they
little
hadn't
things that
invented
hangs
paper.
over your pocket when you put it in your pocket. So that's going to take you forever.
Well, I don't like to say this, love, but we digress.
No, I'm trying to stay on topic.
So
Right then, do we
we've
have
got
a
to
winner?
come back and find out whether or not people think it's A, B, or C. And I can tell you the answer was America.
I thought Germany for
No.
some reason.
No, it was America. The very first person to patent a ballpoint pen of any type that used that simple idea of a socket with a ball that, as it rotated, drew the ink from inside was a guy, I think his name was Mr. Loud, I think. And he was a lawyer in America, but it lapsed because no one could see the commercial value of it. Or how time teaches us
Yes,
things.
you could see today.
So we're looking for A, which means we have to go past the first couple of answers and come down to Gold Award to Sharon Paget.
Well done, Sharon.
And then we're coming down a bit further to Rachel Bailey
Well done, Rachel.
and Laura Sully's Creations.
Well done, Laura.
There we go. So they are our first three on the second question, but the first three correct answers, Sharon, and then Rachel, and then Laura. There we go. So there we go, folks. Little bit of interesting information for you. Even though Laszlo Biro took the world by storm, became immensely rich, I'm sure. His name has lived long after him as he was the inventor of something. He wasn't actually the original inventor, but he was the man who knew how to bring it to market, refined it, and made a fortune.
So now we all know.
Now you know.
If ever there's a pub quiz, you know the answer.
Oh, you got an happy news jingle. Are you going to use it?
We have. I'm going to use a happy news jingle.
Ooh.
Right, happy news. And this is a lady that I think is very inspirational.
Inspirational. by half.
I'm sure there's many of us in here could relate to this. High-speed dream comes true at 94. Donna Maddox took the ride of a lifetime at age 94, racing around the Michigan International Speedway in a Ferrari and hitting 150 miles an hour, proving it's never too late to chase your dreams. She said, "My mother used to say I came into this world running," she joked, while reflecting on her journey. "If you're alive, then live." It's a mantra she's followed from the start. Donna's always been on the lookout for her next adrenaline rush, and her adventurous spirit has been a constant throughout her life. She climbed the Smoky Mountains and explored caves in her younger years, always living life at full throttle. It's been a dream of hers to hit the speedway in her home state, whether in a Ferrari or a Bugatti, and the opportunity proves that age is not necessarily a roadblock when it comes to pursuing your passion. And that is really exciting. And one thing I like is, if you're alive, then live. And even, I suppose, you know, we're all at different positions health-wise, but if we are alive, then why not do what we can, isn't it? I think that's really inspirational. And
But
I always thought I couldn't even get into a Ferrari at my age, but if this lady could get into one at 94, then perhaps I could.
I'll be honest.
I wouldn't get out, but I could get in.
I totally agree with the lady in her sentiments. I totally think she is an inspiration. But the last thing on this earth I would want to do is travel 150 mile an hour around a track in a Ferrari.
It's not you, is it?
It's not me.
You're not the adventurous type.
No. Give me an old Jag or a Rolls Royce and I'll cruise around in comfort.
About 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, speed is not... Both my brothers, motorbikers. Now, I would use a motorbike. If my car broke down when I was a younger person, I'd borrow one of their bikes to get to work, and that was as much as I did.
And look where that got you.
I managed to crash then, yeah. But I crashed in a car as well, but there's just a bit more protection around. But no, I wouldn't do that. But I think that what she says is right, and every one of us should not allow just simply the number that's been fixed by the time we've been here to determine whether or not. If you're able to and you want to, then do it. But as I say, I wouldn't want to do 150 mile an hour in a Ferrari.
Oh, I wouldn't mind.
No.
Rufus is in. Good night. Good night. Hello, Rufus.
Hello.
Here's live life full, peeps. You don't know what tomorrow brings. I absolutely agree with you there.
Yeah.
Ever since my mini stroke, I've got a saying, life's too short to not use your good lace, because I got lots of lace and things that I think, oh, I won't use that, that's too nice, I'll keep that. And I think, for goodness sake, just use it. And I do now, and I try to be like that with everything. I don't keep anything for best, because I think, well, I might not be here tomorrow, and then I've never used it for what it was designed for.
And as I always say to people, because I've done stories of people's lives, as you know, it's what I do. I've written over 1,000. And as I always say to people, one thing I've learned, no one takes time off you for enjoying the time you've got.
No.
You don't, that's not how it works. Enjoying today doesn't mean you've got one less day. It means you've got one more experience. And ultimately, a good life is measured not just in the days that we are here, but the things we do in them. The things we do in them. And for all of us, doing the thing that makes us happy is different. So don't feel you've got to do what somebody else did. I'm not going in the Ferrari, Caroline is.
I did fancy mine. This isn't just inspired by this lady, because when we were in Italy, they got... yes, on the way into Italy, wasn't it? When we were going over down the end of the lake. We stayed at Interlaken, and we used to go to this one place, and you had to go through the tunnels. And there were people there with sports cars. And you could hear, as soon as they got into the tunnel, they'd slam their foot down on the throttle as hard as possible and rev all the way through the tunnel. And I did say, I'd like to do that one day. And the noise is all echoing everywhere. Oh, that sounds so exciting.
All you've got to do is stick a hole in the exhaust and you'll sound just the same.
Yeah,
but you'll get arrested.
Yeah, and you won't go very fast then either.
You'll get done then for having a noisy exhaust. I've had several cars that sound just like that when I was younger.
Yes, you
only because I couldn't afford to get the exhaust manifold fixed. Do you want another question?
Why not?
Okie dokie.
Let's have a look. I can't find... I really should put my glasses on. Where's he gone? Where's he gone?
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Come on. We're all waiting.
I'm just fetching this to show everybody.
I love this.
Glued this back together, folks. As I say, the top was missing, which is where probably the siphon thing would have sat. But you can see now, I've cleaned it up, that all the etching is on the front there. Yep, it's had a bit of a tough life. It was in 3 pieces, but they're back together now. So we promised we'd show you that today. And it says on the front, if I turn it around that way, it says Shaw and Company, EP Shaw and Company Limited, SHOZONE, Shazone, table water. And that comes from Wakefield. That comes from Wakefield. So I showed that in order that I can ask you this question. The modern siphon dates to 1829, when two men patented, and I thought this was clever, because you see, very often we think you've got to think way outside the box. How do you go from a bottle of something to fitting all the magudgeons on the top? But these guys wanted to solve the problem of opening a fizzy bottle, taking the cork out, and when you've done that, you lose the fizz. And here's what they did. They patented a hollow corkscrew which could be inserted into a soda bottle, and a valve allowed a portion of the contents to be dispensed while maintaining the pressure in the bottle so that the remaining liquid didn't go flat. When I read that, I thought, that's incredible. It's one of those cases where they just took something they had, a corkscrew and a cork and a bottle and soda, and they said, well, if we make this hollow, I'll put a valve on it and then screw it in. When it punctures through the top of the cork, the pressure will still be in there, and then you open the valve and out it comes. Here's the question. Were those two men A, Italian, B, Spanish, or C, French?
Go!
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 You heard the lady back there shouting, go! What do you think, folks? The two guys who got a hollow corkscrew and stuck a valve on the end, thereby inventing the very first modern siphon in 1829, were they A, Italian, B, Spanish, or C, French?
Pass me a bottle. I just had a brilliant idea and I can't find my white lights.
Be very
The green
careful.
one. I will.
Be very careful because it's only just been glued together.
Right, I will be very, very
And don't
doubly
cut
careful.
yourself because
I'll try not to. Just going to pop these lights in. I don't have any white ones. I've got loads of white ones, but I can't find them at the moment. So, and I can't untie these, so that's really not having the right effect, is it? But
what you hoping to do? Show the
yeah, just show everybody what looks like the lights in.
show
But
the lighting on. You can see the writing on the front better, possibly now. It's lit from behind.
yeah, try tipping it slightly other way. Other way. No, that way.
You did that.
Anyway, a bit further. I just wondered if maybe no. The lights would be, yeah, so that's not very good, but I know what I thought it would look like.
It'll never come back out.
Let's have a look. I'll do that while you do the answers and see.
Careful of that bottle, because I don't want it to drop on your toes.
It won't.
Because I glued it together and it just been glued. Okie doke. Oh, what a lot of answers and what a variety. So let's have a look. Oh, right. Well, we've got C's, B's, and A's. So they've all got a mention. I would say at a quick glance, most people have gone for two Frenchmen with a corkscrew. Thought there might be a bit of a lean in our way because of the fact that wine is often associated with French people. Also, I've been known to throw those sorts of answers in just to catch people out.
Oh, really?
But not on this occasion. If you went C, which was French, you went right. So we've got another podium place for Sharon Paget, and this time it's gold. C,
Well done,
Sharon
Sharon.
Paget. Then Rufus was quick, but not quite right because he went Spanish.
Right.
But Crafty Campervanas.
Well done. Peach cast, whichever
they've
one
got
it
the
is. Or you
silver.
both.
They got the silver. Then Ian went actually with A, which was Italian. So we've got to jump past there and go to Lexi B,
Oh,
who
well
this
done,
time
Lexi.
went C. And pipped to the post, Ed Creative and Rachel Bailey, who all went C as well.
Nearly.
So it's Frenchmen, and those who got the Frenchmen were Sharon, Crafty Campervanas, and Lexi. You've got the first, second, and third today. There we go.
Right, do you want to do your happy news now?
I will do the happy news if you play my happy news jingle.
Go on then, I'll play your jingle.
A Christmas gift that launched a new business. A father of 5 who was given a $4.99 cheese making kit as a Christmas present now runs his own artisan creamery in his garage and is winning multiple awards for his tasty creations. Matthew Lloyd's interest in cheddars and Edams was sparked 5 Christmases ago when his sister-in-law gave him the novelty set that included a cloth, a thermometer and a rennet tablet, which was enough for 1 batch of cheese. The construction consultant now sells the homemade goods from his backyard creamery called the Rennet Works in Shropshire, England, and is on his way to transforming his hobby into a full-time career.
Clever.
Some people hit middle age and buy golf clubs. I bought massive pots and a micro lab, says the 50-year-old. There were about 5,500 cheeses entered in the 2023 Cheese and Dairy Awards from all over the world, and Matthew won the Best Soft Cheese Award. He's also developing Christmas soft cheeses for markets in the area, and his cheeses are flying off the shelves. Matthew said, "I can't make enough cheese to supply the demand. When I look back now, it's amazing that this all started with a novelty Christmas present." So I thought that was a lovely story.
Yeah, very clever. Good
and-
idea.
And the fact that if he hadn't got the present, he may never ever have done it.
No.
He may never have made cheese in his life, but he made the cheese, and the process so gripped his imagination, and he thought, I wonder if I can make something different. I wonder if I can do this. Mind you, I've got to be honest, he said about buying pots and a micro lab. The pictures of his garage is now completely sterile. It's got all stainless steel everywhere, and he's turned it into a mini processing plant.
With health and safety, food
Oh yeah,
regulations are very
he's not just
high now.
He's just gone for it. But that's built up over 5 years to the point that he's winning awards around the world and across Britain, and he's selling his cheeses and he's developing his own, but all from a $4.99. It's that old saying, isn't it? Great oaks from little acorns grow. And when we look back over our lives, most of us can see a moment, a time, someone we met, something we did that changed our direction and made things completely different. But of course, always remember, that doesn't only apply to looking back. You don't know what's coming next.
No.
You never know what's round the corner, and it could be something as simple as a $4.99 cheese kit that transforms your life, because it did for this guy.
Oh, has anybody on here made cheese? I made cheese once. I had a cheese kit bought for me, and I made a soft cheese. And it wasn't a soft cheese. I made a mozzarella. That's right, it was mozzarella. Mine was, and that was very nice. It didn't last long, but I never made any after that. I'm not sure why. I think it was because I was surprised how much milk it took to make the cheese, so I just never got around to buying lots of milk again. But it was real fun to make.
It was indeed. Right, let's have a look at another find. And I'm going to show you a find that I promised to show you, cleaned up, on that film 2 weeks ago. And that is my teapot. Look how bright that is. I think now we can see it better here than we would have done there, because that is such a big... And the lid is with it. As we said on the day, it was about 20 yards apart. And to be 20 yards apart on a dump is a long way.
If there'd been 2 brown items, I don't think we'd have found it. Because it's such a bright yellow, it made it easier.
The sad thing is, as you can see, the brakes on there are so clean. That handle wasn't far away, but I couldn't find it.
No.
Could not find
It made a wonderful pot. Mind you, I wouldn't have wanted to risk it, even if we glued the handle back on, because you wouldn't want to drop a
but it would have
teapot
looked,
full hot
it would have
tea,
looked very nice.
It would have looked lovely in a cabinet, doesn't it?
But it'll be finding a use down my shed. I'll keep things in it. But as I was washing this, I've just got a funny brain. I love history. I love stuff. Things make history real to me. And as I was washing this, I started to think just how chuffed was the person who bought this the first morning they poured a cup of tea from something that bright. Remember Brown Betty's?
It's not a Brown Betty.
90% of the
any
teapots that I find are brown or black or dark green. What a ray of sunshine to have that on a sort of cold winter misty
even on a pretty spring
morning.
day with a little bunch of daffodils on your breakfast table. Ooh, very posh.
But even in the worst of weather, there's a ray of sunshine on the table. That's what I was thinking, you know, how beautiful it is. So I really like that. And I'm glad I brought it home, even if it has got a nibble on the top, a nibble on there, and no handle on the back, because that will go with my teapot collection. That's for sure.
Are you going to show your other yellow thing?
This one? Yeah, remember this? It's from the same video. That's got a very classic look, isn't it? It's almost like a lighthouse. It's got a very classic look, that is. And Caroline, when she picked it up, because it was filthy ponking, she was cleaning the top, trying to figure out, well, it can't be a salt cellar, there's no hole in the top. And then as she wiped down here, she realised, now I've cleaned it, you can see the holes all around, because it's
pot, I think.
pepper pot, that is. And it would have had a little stopper in the bottom, but obviously that's got chipped and the stopper's gone. But that's quite a nice look, almost like if I was creating something out of bits of china, as I sometimes do, and bottles and glass, I think that would be a perfect lighthouse in a sea of blue sea glass.
Do you know, I see different, and I would make it into like a wizard, and there's his hat, and this is his cloak, and he'd have his little face poking out there.
There we go. That just goes to show
Just how different we are.
just how different we are. It is just as well that opposites attract, because to me it's a lighthouse, to Caroline it's a wizard. What do you see, folks? What do you see in that? There we go.
Right then, how are we doing? Right, if I do a quick find,
Go on then.
I'll do this. This says Shepherd's Dairy, St John's Lane, Halifax, and you can just imagine that being delivered with cream in, and then putting it on your table, then pouring out your cream or putting it into one of your recipes. I just love it. Now, I don't know it ever had a lip on it. I think it was just like a churny shape. I could be wrong, it might
possibly
have.
a churn shape with a cork in the top.
Because the fact it's got no handle, it's not a jug. So it made, I think it probably just did have something like a cork on the top of that. And you may even, because it says about the dairy, you may have sent it back to be washed because, what do you reckon? Do you think they washed that or do you think people kept it? I don't know whether they actually washed this, unless they were a very small dairy.
Yeah, an awful lot of stoneware.
Yeah, was returned to sender.
Was returned to sender, yeah.
Not returned to sender, that's Elvis, isn't it?
Yeah. This is the property of. It's not on this one. But very often it had, this is the property of, the bigger ones did.
Yeah, so then they could have stuck a cork into stop it spilling.
Things. So maybe you chucked the cork and sent your pot back, they cleaned it and brought it back again. I don't know. But
did I show you a close-up? I can't remember. I'm so busy chatting.
Caroline did say on the video, she said, I can't read this, but I'll clean it up. So we didn't have a live show, as I say, because we were away. And that reminds me. That reminds me, yes, before anybody leaves us early, there won't be a live show next Saturday night.
No.
There'll be a premiere and we will be joining you from the caravan, because we're taking the caravan. They forecast 4 days of sunshine over next weekend. I've been promising Caroline, if the weather comes nice, we will take the van for one last run before putting it away for winter and closing it down. So we're going to take the caravan away for the weekend.
Yes.
And leave tech support Tim in charge of the property. So he's got the run of the property for 4 days. But we won't be here next Saturday, but there will be a video going out and we will be in the chat on the premiere. But yet again, there won't be a live show. So we'll try and carry the finds we refer to, we'll try and carry some over like we are tonight. Okay, right, you have a question.
Wait a minute, just answering your last question is, what does it remind people of? Lexi says it looks like a yellow wizard. Crafty Campervanner said a Helter Skelter.
Oh, yes.
Ed's Creative said, I see a Japanese-style temple.
Oh, yeah. The pagodas on top of a hill. We saw those when we were in China as well.
Right, so there was another question.
Another question, I think. And this is a quantities question. So it follows on nicely from Caroline saying she was surprised how much milk it took to make the cheese.
Oh, there you go.
Because we are going to ask her,
knew that.
This is nothing to do with cheese.
Oh.
It's to do with another product that can be made and can be made at home. as well as on an industrial scale. Because as well as being a pain for mudlarkers like myself, nettles are extremely useful and are extremely useful in many different ways, including medicine. Now, most people know that. Army uniforms. Now, not a lot of people know that.
No.
But back 100 years ago, the German army were making uniforms out of fabric created from the flax of nettles.
Now I can I spin yarn, and I've also tried some vegan things, and there's something called Rami, Aramie, and I'm pretty sure that's nettle fibre.
Yeah, they were saying that the big thick nettles, the fibre in them is just like flax and that. And you
So
can
there we
use
go.
it. And of course, you can also use them for wine. So my question is, how many litres of wine did the Lime Bay Winery make using 40 kilograms of nettles? Right, this is recorded by the Lime Bay Winery. They made a speciality wine. They took 40 kilos of nettles and made, was it A, 1,000 litres of wine, B, 2,000 litres of wine, or C, 3,000 litres of wine?
Go.
So we know the answer is a lot of wine. You can definitely make a lot of wine with 40 kilos of
Let's have a
nettles,
look.
because you can make at least 1,000, possibly 2,000, and maybe 3,000 litres. And we will find what everyone thinks now. Oh, they're coming in now. Oh, hang on. Nettle soup, tea, twine can be used as a rennet too.
All right.
Yeah, that's coming in from Ed.
Right.
Yeah. Lexi said tech support Tim will be having a huge house party.
Fortunately, Tim isn't a party animal, so it's great. We can trust him. The only thing he doesn't do is wash up.
Ed, thanks for wishing us well with the weather next weekend. If you've got any plans that need sunshine, sir, we in Wales have got some, at the moment, excellent weather forecast. We've got a sunny day tomorrow, but from next Friday, 3 to 4 days of sunshine. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got A, B, 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 C, B, A, B. Oh, we've got a whole variety of answers.
Has anybody got the right answer?
Yes, because
Good.
there are those who have gone with 3,000 litres. That's how much they made of their speciality wine, and they said it still had a bit of a sting. That's how they sold it. Still had a bit of a sting. It had a tang, very much a tang and tingle to it. Still had a tingle, that's what they said.
A tingle.
Still had the tingle. So we've got to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to find Carlin Scott.
Oh, well done, Carlin.
You get gold. Then we go down a little further, another couple to Ian Davis.
Well done, Ian.
And Laura Sully's Creation.
Well done, Laura.
There we go. Not a lot of C's in. They were the first three of them. So it's always worth having a go, because although I think Laura's is about the 9th answer and on our sheet, but it was still
Doesn't matter. You
third
got there.
podium. So there we go. Right, another find to show. This gives me an opportunity to say once again thank you to our dear friend Tom Burley, because that is the jar now cleaned up. I've been very careful not to over clean it, because I don't want to lose that label.
No, look at that.
That's one of the better labels we got. Tom found that and he gave it to me to give to Caroline, because he doesn't go on camera, so I was able to impersonate Tom and pass this on. But look at that, folks. That was a gift from Tom, who was with us on that particular dump a couple of weeks ago. So that's
Something else I really like about this, I found these bottles before with the ridges on. I thought, it doesn't seem like a poison bottle, but these ridges, what on earth was in it? And now I know, pickle onions.
That's right, and those must have been done purely for the look and possibly to be able to grip the bottle, because the lids on these used to be very tight, didn't they? So possibly, and I got to be honest, that's a better shaped bottle to get hold of when you got to get a tight lid off than a round one. Because you've got a huge round one over there. There was possibly pickles. And
Because I've had them like this, and it says crunchy pickles. They're my favourite when they say crunchy pickles.
But you do like your big jars.
I do like big jars. I don't know what it is about big jars, but I love big jars. And you can put things in them. That's what I tend to do. Use them, put things in, and they look great if you sort of put them in a row. Brilliant things.
And here's something else that we picked up in that video 2 weeks ago, and I said it's too big to put in the bag, and then Caroline found a monkey bag for life.
Not a monkey, a monkey grubby monkey.
Yeah, a grubby one. Monkey got named over the monkey because he was a bit grubby when we found him. But yeah, it was a very, very
Rufus.
A very rough looking bag for life. But it did the trick, so I put this in, and I thought I'd clean it up and show it to you all tonight, because isn't that a cracker? I'm sure I can find something to do with that. There you go.
Really nice. I think it would have been on a leg with a big base on it, and that's not there.
No, it would have been on something, wouldn't it? There would have been something there.
I think probably a thin line and then a big.
Yeah. So there we go.
Thing. It's
so I'd bring that in because the colours in it are lovely. The pattern is gorgeous.
You couldn't leave that there, could you?
No.
I don't know what we're going to do with it, but you couldn't leave it there.
There's even a little rose on the back as well. And that's cute, isn't it?
I tell you what. What's it look like if we turn up this way? As an Easter...
Watch out in case there's water in it.
Right. Oh, if you've got a banister, you could stick that on the end of the banister like an acorn finial, and also makes a lovely false Fabergé egg.
Oh, yes. Oh, a Fabergé egg, isn't it?
Maybe it's the missing Fabergé egg. Oh, I'd love to find a missing Fabergé egg. Oh, I'll be living in the Bahamas and loaded. I don't think I'm going to find one.
Right, that's that in.
Let's have a last question now.
Well, we've got the super question now. We have the super question.
Right then, let's have that question.
Time.
And before we do this question, Monkey has asked me to point something out. He said, I want to make it look like the dinosaur's biting my hands off, even though he's my friend and he won't bite me, and see if anybody sees the first person to notice it. And nobody tonight has said, there's a dinosaur biting
monkey.
Look at that.
No, there's not anymore. There's now a load of smashed things on the floor.
But yes, go on then, put it back in. Put your hand in. They're friends. He's not really biting. But see, you all missed that. So next week, check in case there's something daft happening on the shelves.
Yeah, like a cow playing a saxophone or something.
You all can't stop looking at it, You've noticed it, haven't you?
All right, folks, here we go. How many times did you see Mankey in this week's video? How many places did you see Mankey in this week's video? It is a single digit answer. Go.
Right. Ooh. Oh, no clues this time.
No, I've stopped giving numbers.
Could be anywhere between 0 and 9.
I'm leaving it to everybody to let me know what they saw and how many they saw and what they saw and where they saw them. So this
is always very contentious. And here comes Steve, who is the authority on all things Monkey.
Then just check in against Steve's.
Well, we got 1, 3, I don't think I've seen a 2 yet, unless I missed it. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ribble says 6. Right, so we haven't got a 2 yet. So we got 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another 1. Is there any 6? Anybody gonna dare to say 2, 7, 8, or 9? Not yet.
Yeah.
Right, Phil's just checking out now.
Yeah, check it out.
Conferring with Ribble.
Yeah.
Steve is wonderful with his Monkey radar. Right then, so do we have an answer?
We do.
A winner. I know we've got plenty of answers.
We have got lots and lots of answers.
Do we have a winner?
We do. Now then.
Oh, Andrea said 2. Well done. Somebody's coming with 2.
Hang on. Just something I gotta check a second.
Oh, there's a dispute. There's always a dispute.
Something I have to check.
Oh, Ian said 7. Well done, Ian. We've got anybody can put 8 or 9. 8 or 9. Can I interest anybody in an 8 or a 9? Going free. Well, ROE Portal's going with a 3. Phil's still checking. This could be a while. Right, while Phil's checking there, I'll show you. I think I had another find here somewhere. Got a few glass bottles, but this one This is an almost. I love finding this sort of thing, but I very rarely find these whole. And this again is another almost. Look at that. Now, it's not such a problem because you can put it on a shelf like that, and you'd never know there was a bit missing. Well, you'd have to put something. I've got my flowers here that Rachel made. I put that on the top. Look at that. I can't tip it up to show you, but that looks really pretty, like a decoration. But I put some pipes in it. There we go. It's a pipe display, and you'd never guess, would you, that that's broken? So it does have its uses. You can fill it if you're really clever. You can put that. I can never remember, not Mod Podge. The clay stuff you put in there. You could use some of that anyway. Fill it in. But it's good enough to bring home, but still a disappointment. I like to find them whole. Right then. Do we have a definitive answer yet?
We've got a problem. And I'm going to have to make a decision on this tonight.
Go on then.
And I'm going to make the decision that the answer is 5.
Ooh.
Because...
Thank you. Brilliant.
And I'll give you my rationale. And that is completely right. Ribble Finds and Crafts is smack on. Steve has got it. But technically, the one at 0.19 and 0.27, as he says, behind Phil, and at 0.27 again after the Let's Go sign, but it was still so although the Let's Go sign intervened,
so
he was stood in exactly the same place behind me. So I'm gonna give it to the 5s,
right,
which is unusual because there's not many times when me and Steve disagree, and there may be those out there who think Steve is correct, and those who said 6 will agree with him.
If you want to put an opinion, if Phil or if it should be 5 or 6, but thank you ever so much, Steve, for checking out, because Phil is useless.
Yeah, well, I know that Sharon and Lexi and a few others are going to be agreeing with Ribble because that's the number they gave. But saying 5 because that was an identical location from the same angle means that Laura Sully's creation takes the gold. Rachel Bailey takes silver, and Peggy Reed takes bronze.
Well done.
And Sandy Black was just pipped to the post by Peggy Reed. She was just in front of her. But yeah, I went and double checked just to be sure. But you are right. There was a break because I said something, then it went, whoosh, let's go, and then I started talking again. But I'm stood in the same place. It is the same tree. But you did well because you could only see Mankey's ear on the first shot, and then you could see the Ula Mankey, but he was hiding behind me, you see, on the same shot.
You would never believe that one rescue panda could cause so much controversy, could you?
And it's always good to leave you with controversy. Now you'll be talking about this for the next week, or maybe 2 until we come back for a live show.
Lexi said, Ribble's word is final.
Oh, my chest. Folks, it's been great. Thank you so much for being with us. Don't forget, we'll be with you for a premiere on Friday from the caravan, but we won't be here on Saturday because Timbo will be partying. So we'll see you 2 weeks' time for a live show.
Yes, so thank you for coming. I will see you all next time, and until then, don't forget.
Have fun. Bye.